This is Pod Strangely Warmed, a place where we tell the good Methodist story, where we have conversations that invite followers of Jesus to seek after that loving, just, and free world that God imagines for us all, and have a little fun along the way. Hey, Pod Strangely Warm family, this is Daniel Hawkins here at General Conference. After a half decade of waiting since our election, we are here. And today I am here with Reverend Mary Spradlin. And I'm so excited to be with Mary today. General Conference, when you see this, will have begun. We are recording this on Monday. General Conference officially begins tomorrow on Tuesday, April 23rd. And so I just wanted to give you this micropod to kind of set a little expectation coming into General Conference. What's going on this week? What are we doing for 2 weeks? And how many of us violated the weight limit at the airport in our bags trying to pack clothes for 2 weeks? I had to do the clothes shuffle between the hanging bag and the checked bag, and it was a real struggle. But that's not a surprise to any of y'all, knowing that this is just the way things are. And so Mary is a member of our delegation. You met her on the webinar in preparation for General Conference. She is also the queen of the Committee on Agenda, also known as the secretary, which means if she doesn't write it down, it isn't official until she records it. And so I'm thankful for Mary for being with me today as we kind of set some expectations for what is this week and what you will see and what you may hear coming out of General Conference. Mary, what's on the agenda this week, right, as the queen of the agenda?
So the Agenda and Calendaring Committee meets every day, every morning, very early in the morning to set the agenda for the day. And the agenda for the first week of General Conference is committee meetings. The legislative committees there are 14 of them, plus some standing committees, and they will meet and they will work their way through petitions that have been submitted, and we'll vet those and vote on those and reject some and get those down to a manageable size for the plenary, which will happen next week.
Okay. Committee week is a very important week at General Conference. There's something like 1,100 petitions or so to be dealt with, and the rules say that at General Conference, every petition that's submitted must be dealt with. One of the things I want to make sure everybody hears in the midst of this, we're not just having committee meetings, right? We will have worship each and every day as a part of our time. Frankly, that's part of what they're prepping for behind us right now. So if you hear things going on that you will later hear on the live stream, know that they're prepping for worship back behind us. And because we believe part of our call is to not just do the legislative work, but to do it from a spirit of connection to God and worship in the midst of that. As somebody who has been to General Conference before, I have not. What is that experience at worship like in this body?
One of the most beautiful things about worship here at General Conference is we are a global body. So it's an opportunity to worship with people who worship differently than we do. And that influence is there even in the committee meetings. These are boring rooms. They have tables, they have chairs, there's a water cooler. It's boring. But they will invite somebody from Sierra Leone to give the opening prayer, and suddenly you just feel God's Spirit there. And we want that. We want that because left to our own devices, we are very likely not going to make good decisions. But with God's help, we will. And so that Spirit-filled worship and prayer, especially coming from different places, different people, different voices, it's really special.
That does sound incredibly special, and I am really looking forward to it as a newbie delegate. And I hope that if you are able to join us on the live stream of General Conference, that you tune in for one of those times of worship, because even in a remote context, it should be and will be good to your spirit and your soul. Mary said something really important just a second ago, that without God's help, we may not make the best of choices on our own. And so as we move into this first week of General Conference, my one request of you is that you would be in a place, in a position of prayer toward this entire gathering, that you would hold us in a spirit of prayer, that we might be open to God's wisdom and God's way in the midst of this. And so that this thing that we've been talking about around the annual conference, that we might be followers of Jesus, seeking after the loving, just, and free world God imagines for all people, that the work of this gathering might support that call, that mission that we live out each and every week in the Central Texas Conference. Until next time, I'm Daniel Hawkins, and this has been Pod Strangely Warmed. has been Pod Strangely Warm. If you enjoyed our conversation today, know that you can find us anywhere you find podcasts. On Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, any and all the places, we are there. So if you want to continue the good United Methodist conversation that you've been a part of today, find us, like us, rate us, review us, and share with a friend so that the good news that is happening right here in our own midst can amplify even